So this is the last of the day one videos. It's just going to cover how I set up the team numbers on the map, and it will also go through our previous week of Clashfront, just to show you the same strategy applied previously. It was like a week where we didn't really have much competition, so it's really just as a good example. So for an example of how many teams I would put in each place, I would be putting probably at this point 0 for this space here and 0 for this one here. As I know that those are safe, I'd be putting 1 for here because we need to take this tile, and 1 here since we also need to take this one. Now I know that this purple guild isn't very strong, so I'm pretty safe with putting 5. If somehow they manage to take out my 5 teams, I'm not overly concerned about losing this tile simply because they're not that strong. I don't have any concerns about them, taking both of these back at some point if I need to. Again, I probably wouldn't be that concerned about losing them at all if I keep everything else. So at this point, I would probably consider these would be like a relatively even split of probably around, let's say like 15. Actually, let's go 10 on this one. I'll explain why in a second. And 15 here. Now, the reason why I did that split is I just want to make sure that this is the priority tile. And I'm saying this is a priority because if I manage to take this tile and keep this tile, then it's safe. If I do manage to lose one of these tiles, I would actually prefer to lose this one because they're going to be blocked off. And I know that they're not a very strong team compared to us, so they're not going to continue to spread out after that. We'll probably be able to take them out pretty quickly after. So at this point, like getting this tile and getting safety around our middle is more important. So at this point, I have around 70 teams left, minus these 2. So I'm going to say that I've got 4 spots left. So it's 14 teams per tile. This one is probably the riskiest tile, simply for the fact that it is accessible by both aqua and gold at that point. So I'm going to put a few more on there than the others. This one I'm going to put 15 simply because I don't want gold. They're our biggest competitor. I think that they're going to be going for this one at this point. I don't think they're going to go for this tile. I'm just guessing, and I could be wrong. If I lose this tile, I lose this tile. I've got direct access to it. It's not a big deal if I do lose it. So now at this point, I have 20 here, 60, 75. So I have about 15 team members left. And I'm going to split them on these 2 tiles here, which doesn't leave me a lot on these 2 tiles. So what I would be doing is really considering if this is the right path that I want to take in round 3, based on how we go on our fights against gold here. And really seeing how they also fare in their fight against gold, because that will sort of determine, whether we think that we can easily take them or not. If they're beating gold, then they become a bit more of a risk to us. But if gold is taking them out really easily, and I can see that they're not deploying them many teams, then it just becomes easier for me to sort of spread my teams out thin. Worst case, if I can see that purple aren't really deploying anything, I could change this to like a 1 or a 0, probably a 1. And then, I've got an extra 4 teams that I can bring over to these points. If you're concerned that, you just want to get rid of this tile, then you can, pull back here and then start defending these. The risk is that if you lose this tile to gold, then next time they're going to have access to full location of yours. So sometimes it pays to potentially lose one of these tiles and show a little bit of force around the outside, especially like this early round, round three. You're probably a little bit ahead on points already if this is the sort of map that you're following. And the last thing I wanted to cover on the day one of the planning, I wanted to show you last week's Clashfront, and it follows a very similar plan to what I showed you on the spreadsheet just now. And I can sort of quickly go through why I made the same decisions this week that I made last week. So if I go in here and show you our one from last week. You can see it started very similar. We're actually in the same spot that we were in last week, so it's very easy for me to show you guys the comparison. We took out both these tiles as planned last time. Our yellow team took this tile, and our blue team did not do anything. They were that team that I mentioned. I think you put 3 teams on here in round 1 and 3 teams on this tile in round 2, and I don't think we saw him again. So yeah, so that guild was kind of and basically inactive and didn't really do anything. I think our biggest competitor last week was again gold. Having this guild here on this part of the map was really convenient for us because we can very easily block them out. So once we take this tile, they're blocked from accessing these easily, and then we can take this tile as well. Whereas a guild like the purple on this side of the board, they actually have free access to this tile if blue is inactive. So if you're thinking of like allies, I would always recommend trying to go like opposite to you or like above you, like this sort of pairing. Pairing with you know, sideways, it can work, and especially if you have worked with them before and you know that they will work well with you. But you guys are losing access to this top part of the board early on in the rounds. So I would always recommend making allies with someone that's either here or here, preferably on the opposite side, so this diagonal side here. And picking your allies based on obviously their activity, their power. You might have a group of guilds in some higher servers that, you know, they're like sister guilds. Obviously, you'll be working with them regardless of where they are on the map. So it just really depends on your situation. But for my guild, we always try to go diagonal. Last Clashfront rounds, we allied up with people from our server. So that we basically said, okay, if someone from our server was in the Clashfront, we're going to ally with them because we want our server to be better than the other servers. You know, it's really your choice how you organize your allies. So with this one, you can see that we very quickly established the same pattern that I was following in the spreadsheet. So by round 2, we had taken this tile, we'd taken our free tile here, and we'd also won this tile. We also decided to branch out and take this tile, which we're not doing this week, simply because the Gold Guild was a step down of the Gold Guild this week as far as power and activity. I don't want to stretch that far this week. It could be that, you know, they don't really deploy much and I might decide to take that tile, but I don't think it's worth it for this week. And last week, my guild, we decided to take the whole map, so it just made sense to start taking these tiles and then start, cleaning up the map. You can see that we had some battles. Nothing was too concerning for me. We were only losing like 3 to their 14. I think in round 1, we lost, 3 to 22. So yeah, there wasn't much concern on my side at all from either purple or gold at this point. Now in round 3, we did basically an expansion of the plan that I'm doing this week. We did take this top tile. We also expanded to the left. I'm not doing that this week. Again, I think that's pushing it too far this week. with the activity of the two guilds that we have on this side of the board. So I'm just going to stick to this one here. And we very quickly got to a point where really the only tiles that were left were the ones that we couldn't access. So at this point, we've got access to everything. And in round 4, we cleaned up the rest of the board and took those remaining tiles. Now, how I decided setting up teams, you can see in this round, I actually abandoned a lot of my tiles and I didn't put anything on them. Simply because I wanted those on other specific tiles. Even this one, I only put 2 teams. I got some skirmish points or some trial points, I think. They weren't really teams that we needed elsewhere. We fought them. There was not really any loss that we really took from them. You can also see that they stopped deploying as many teams by this point. I think they kind of gave up a little bit. Last week was a lot easier than this week, so we'll see how this week plays out. And I'm not expecting the same results this week as we had last week. And you can see that the only reason that Legendary, the purple team, actually progressed in this matchup was the fact that they had access to this top tile, because we very quickly took out Gold's access to this one and this one. They had an extra round of access to this tile and this tile, which just pulled them a little bit more ahead of Gold. So if you're in this position where you're sort of like equal with a diagonal guild and you have a third guild that is way stronger than you, I would say try and at least keep the tiles that you can keep, because they're going to be going after one of you. And if you can keep that tile, then that's going to just keep you ahead into second place. And second place is going to get you to the next tier. And you might be matched with an ally, or you might be matched with some guilds that are more equal in strength, just as active, but maybe more equal. It just really depends on who you're facing each week. So 2 last things about the round Clashfront calculator. I am planning on adding a section that you can add the team numbers in directly onto the spreadsheet. So you can see that before I just did it on Paint. Sometimes I do it on my iPad. It just really depends. I have seen some people do it on things like Photoshop. I've seen a few people do it on pieces of paper and share it to their guilds. I think it'd be easier if we have them on here, and obviously for some guilds it might be important that you have specific vanguards in a specific place. It could be that you need those extra skirmish points, or you could be picking them based on their team power. So I'm also going to add like a little section where you can put a note of which vanguard should be there, maybe specifically which of their teams should be there. I haven't really had a look at that yet, so we'll see if I can get that out for the next round. It just really depends on my availability this weekend. And then the second thing is the treasure setting as well. So when you get to round 2, we'll see where the treasure is going to be located on the map. At that point, I suggest updating this up here. And what that will do is when you get to round 4, it's going to automatically add those points to the results. So say, for example, the treasure was in the HQ3 and our team was to take this tile. It's automatically going to say that we're getting the 750 points, which is the 600 plus the 150. So it's important to set that, because that can actually, change the calculations quite a bit if you end up with, another guild who's like relatively close to you taking that tile. So yeah, I suggest setting that as soon as possible so you don't forget.